Good day, doctor. I am Farmer Sam, and I'm here today to have Miss Roxanne, my sow, get her first dose of ovugel. Her first litter has been weaned 96 hours ago, which is what I was told had she had to wait in order to get her ovugel. I want her to be in ovulation in about 2 days, so she is right in estrus with all for my fixed timed AI program. This here is Rendog, and he is the superior sire I have out of all my boars. I am hoping to use his sperm to artificially inseminate Miss Roxanne so he can pass on his wonderful genetics to her progeny. His wonderful genetics has blessed me with this amazing bacon that my company sells.
It is so lovely to meet you, Farmer Sam, and your two beautiful pigs. But before I can go on about administering ovugel for Miss Roxanne, I need to inform you on what it is and how it works to make sure it's the product you still want to use. So, ovugel is a thin, clear, hazy gel which contains the active ingredient triptorelin, specifically in the form triptorelin acetate. Now, this product is made by the manufacturer United Animal Health. Triptorelin acts as an analog of gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which is abbreviated GnRH. Now, an analog mimics a native hormone and has the same function, basically. Specifically, this is an agonist, which means that its original effect causes a surge of LH and in turn causes ovulation. However, long-term effects can actually suppress GnRH and FSH and LH. The general purpose, as you stated, is for using this product to control the timing of ovulation in sows, not gilts, in order to facilitate a single fixed time AI. Now, before I begin how ovugel works on a cellular level, I would like to explain to you how natural GnRH influences ovulation, and then I will explain specifically how the analog is very similar to the native hormone itself. So I've provided for you, Farmer Sam, a few drawings that will help to explain how native GnRH causes ovulation. So first, we here start with the hypothalamus, which is the neural center of the brain. Now, the hypothalamus is responsible for producing a neurohormone called gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which we abbreviate GnRH. Now, GnRH will travel all the way through blood, all the way to the pituitary gland, specifically the anterior pituitary, because here is where its target cells are. Its target cells are called gonadotropes. Now, there are two types of gonadotropes. We have FSH and we have LH. FSH is follicle-stimulating hormone and LH is luteinizing hormone. And so, GnRH, once it binds to the gonadotrope receptors, it then stimulates the synthesis and release of FSH and LH. Once they're released from the anterior pituitary, they travel through the blood, throughout the body, all the way to its target cells in the ovary. But it's not just the ovary, it's specifically the antral follicle of the ovary. The antral follicle is what houses the oocyte and allows it to mature as it gets ready for ovulation. So, each of them have a different target cell of the antral follicle. Well, first, there are three distinct layers of the antral follicle. Now you have the oocyte here, and then the direct layer surrounding the oocyte is called the granulosa cells, and then surrounding the granulosa cells is theca interna cells, and then around that is theca externa cells. So once FSH is released from the anterior pituitary, it travels all the way through blood into the ovary to the granulosa cells of the antral follicle. Now, this causes testosterone, which is a 19-carbon steroid, to then get transformed into estradiol, a 18-carbon steroid. And LH, it travels all the way through blood to the antral follicle, but to the theca interna cells. Now here is where it actually stimulates through the production and release of testosterone. So testosterone can then be converted to estradiol when FSH attacks the granulosa cells, the receptors of the granulosa cells. Now the granulosa cells are responsible for nurturing and causing mitosis to help prepare the oocyte for ovulation. Now, estradiol specifically has a positive feedback on the hypothalamus. What this means is that estradiol will stimulate the hypothalamus, which in turn stimulates more GnRH production, and that of course travels all the way through blood to the anterior pituitary to its gonadotroph cell receptors, and that causes more FSH and LH to be stimulated and released, once again through all the way to the antral follicle to both of its target cells, and in turn creating more estradiol. It's an ongoing cycle, and the end product of the cycle is a big surge that comes specifically from here, the surge center of the brain, and it's a surge of LH and FSH, and that is what causes ovulation to occur. So Farmer Sam, now that you understand how native GnRH works, we pretty much have an understanding of how triptorelin, the analog of GnRH, works, because it is mimicking GnRH and acts in the exact same way. However, it's just not produced by the hypothalamus. We give this exogenously, and automatically it goes travels through the blood straight to its target cells in the anterior pituitary and releases FSH and LH, creating a surge that responds by inducing ovulation. Now, do you understand everything and still want Miss Roxanne to have ovugel?
Yes.
Perfect. The medicine has already been sitting for 10 minutes in room temperature, and now we can administer it. So, first what we do is we take our applicator that's already put together. We draw up our medicine. We put our protective covering on over it, and we administer it intravaginally. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go up all the way until we feel some resistance, which is the cervix. We pull back 1/2 inch, and then we administer. Perfect. Now Miss Roxanne has had her first dose of ovugel.